Want to do the chicken dance? The chicken wing dance? Come with me and we can do the chicken wing dance together. I've gathered together some of my favorite chicken wing recipes for you right now. So the other day I was in Chinatown having dinner with a friend and I had this amazing, amazing sauce. Basically scallion, ginger, salt, and oil. That's it. So today I'm making that recipe for you, inspired by my trip to Chinatown. It's chicken wings with ginger scallion sauce. To start off with, just lightly oil 2 baking sheets. Here I have 4 pounds of chicken wings, season them with salt, and then that's it. Just salt, a little bit oil on the pan, and they go into the oven. Try to not touch them. Let's see how that goes. Spread them around. And then you want to cook them divided on the 2 baking sheets. This just ensures that there's plenty of space around them and that they get nice and golden brown. These are wings that have been cut in half, and then the wing tips have been removed. You can leave the wing tips on, it's completely up to you. Plenty of room. These go into a 450-degree oven until they're nice golden brown and cook through. It should take about 35 minutes. While the wings are cooking, get your sauce ready. I have 8 scallions here. Just chop them up. Doesn't really matter how because it's gonna go into the food processor, so don't worry too much. And then a 1/4 cup of chopped ginger. 1/4 cup of ginger is quite a bit, so make sure you get a nice big piece. And like the scallions, it doesn't have to be too finely chopped, but you wanna start the chopping process. So you need a 1/4 cup. Smells good in here. Ginger's waftability is right up there with basil's, I would say. Now everything just gets pulsed together in a food processor with a 1/4 cup of oil. Scallions. This is a neutral flavored oil like a safflower, canola, I guess, if you wanted to, and a teaspoon of salt. That's it, guys. That's gonna be your sauce. Can you believe it? So the texture's fine enough, but it's a little bit coarse, so don't worry about that. Transfer it to a large bowl because the chicken wings need to be tossed with it and then put back in the oven for a few minutes. When the chicken wings have cooked for about 35 minutes, you can take them out and toss them in the sauce. They should be golden brown and basically cooked through at this point. Then what you're gonna do is just sort of glaze, for lack of a better word, in this sauce. See how nice and golden brown they are? They're already well on their way to deliciousness, but this is gonna make them right over the top. Don't get rid of your trays. They're going back on the tray in the oven. The day I was making these in the kitchen, Martha came through. She couldn't stop eating them. She loved them. What's not to like, right? I'm gonna put them all in one tray to finish. Because you don't really need any more browning, you just need them to set, and they've shrunk a little bit. You can put them on 2 trays or 1 tray. Up to you. So golden and bubbly, yay! Around here, we're huge, enthusiastic wing eaters. Give yourself at least 5 minutes before you bite into one of them so that you don't burn your tongue, because if your tongue is burned, you won't be able to enjoy all the rest of them. Need a winning wing recipe? I have got one for you today. It's a sriracha glazed wing. Sweet and spicy and tangy. It's got pretty much everything going for it. The only thing that I might say is you might want to like quadruple the recipe because the 1.5 pounds are going to be gone in a snap. First thing that you need is 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and I'm just gonna whisk together my marinade right in my baking pan. You make a marinade, you marinate it, and you bake it all in the same place. Oh my gosh, what is this world coming to? You can use low sodium soy sauce or regular. I'm using regular. 2 tablespoons plus a teaspoon of white vinegar. That's gonna add the tanginess. Make sure that you use the white vinegar, not white wine vinegar. A tablespoon of sriracha or other spicy chili sauce, and then a 1.5 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. That's the really flavorful sesame oil, not the kind that you cook in, but the one that you use as a flavoring. Make sure once it's open that you keep it in the refrigerator, otherwise it'll go rancid quite quickly and you don't use it that fast. 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then the pièce de résistance, as I like to say, some grated peeled ginger. Use your spoon method for peeling your ginger. It's like a pile of ginger juice. It's gonna be amazing. Add that to your marinade and then just whisk it together. You may want to quadruple this recipe. Like I said, you could probably fit 2 recipes in this pan and 2 recipes in another. This is a 9x13. And I recommend it because this is 1.5 pounds and I think I could eat 1.5 pounds all by myself. What about you? Turn them to coat and then they need to marinate for 30 minutes, turning halfway through so that both sides marinate equally. And if you'd like, you could probably do this in the morning and then cook them off later. Just keep them refrigerated if you do that. Once they've marinated for 30 minutes, 375-degree oven, bake the chicken wings, turning halfway through until the glaze is reduced and the chicken's cooked through. Whoa, look how glazedy those are. I can barely not eat these. And I'm not kidding when I tell you that I could eat the whole thing. I'd probably regret it tomorrow, but they're that delicious. Today's recipe for cooking for a crowd, jerk chicken wings. Pretty spicy. I mean, it has a habanero pepper in it, but it's also got all these other great layers of flavor, allspice and black pepper and scallions. It's really aromatic and really spicy. One of the major flavorings, fresh thyme. So I need 2 tablespoons of fresh thyme. I'm just getting that ready now. This is probably one of those times that you do not want to substitute dry for fresh. It's the main flavoring ingredient, right? So go out and get some fresh thyme. If you really wanted to get authentic with these, you would smoke them, but we're gonna cook them in the oven because it's much simpler and easier. So add your 2 tablespoons of thyme to a food processor. And then I'm gonna just start this off by adding my garlic. I have 8 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna start making my paste in the food processor before I add the rest of my ingredients. Turn your machine on and then add your garlic. If you add the garlic through the tube while it's running, it cuts up much more evenly. Then you can wait and add the rest of your ingredients. I have 12 scallions. You don't really need to do much to them except for trim the roots, and then if the ends have any kind of sliminess or discoloration or anything like that, you can trim those. These are a little dry. I'll just trim a little bit off. And then I guess you can cut them in half so they fit into the machine. Well, cut them in quarters. Changing my mind just as we go along. Everything gets added to the food processor, the scallions. To that, add 2 tablespoons of black pepper, a tablespoon of coarse salt, 4 teaspoons of ground allspice. If you can get fresh and grind it yourself, do that, but otherwise the pre-ground is fine. 4 bay leaves, crumble them a little bit. And then the crowning glory, a habanero pepper. If you can't find habanero, use jalapenos. I am not removing the seeds. You can remove the seeds if you want to. And finally, a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. And you want to make this into a coarse paste. It's gonna be good, I can tell. It's delicious. Then what you want to do is scrape your paste over 6 pounds of chicken wings. I've just halved them through the joint so you have the part with the wing tip and then the part with that's the little drumstick. Stir it so that everything is nicely coated. Cover them with plastic wrap. Refrigerate them for at least an hour, up to overnight, and then you can cook them. These need to roast at 450 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. Make sure you rotate the pans once during cooking for even cooking. If you're patient and you waited long enough, 45 minutes, you'll have golden brown, scrumptious, delicious piles and piles of jerk chicken wings. People will be climbing over you to get them because it smells so good in here right now. They're so delicious. I, for one, am not gonna be able to stop eating them. So you guys better hurry up and get in the kitchen.